Southern Soul EZP, Southern Soul ATLFM.com, and Magic108FM.com. Thank you for checking out the hottest Southern Soul station in America, Southern Soul ATLFM.com. We really appreciate you. It is just growing by leaps and bounds. We're back with another segment, and we're going to talk about segregation again in this March on April 5th. And we're going to also talk about our master advocate, Mr. Caleb Holt, a little later on. But for right now, I want to bring in the man with the plan that really knows about this April 5th March. It is Mac Beats. Welcome, Mac Beats.
Thank you. Absolutely. I've been reading up on some of the tactics that authorities all over the world are beginning to use on this when their people protest. So you're looking at so many different tactics. They got middleman attacks for people's cell phone towers. Your phone is going to try to connect to a tower, and then when it does, it's somebody reading all your traffic, incoming and outgoing, when you're at the protest. They have cameras with facial detection. And lately, the federal administration that I've been seeing has been more forthright than most administrations have been about what is and what is not acceptable. So when you post these things, when you go live, be careful, because it's not just a protest and that's it. It's more than that. It's also different parts, moving parts. If you're going to be there, be ready for all types of things that come with a protest. Look, in the civil rights era, when you protested, you had to know you was coming in there with a life to give in order to be able to live a certain way. And I want y'all to take that. If y'all go to that protest, I want y'all to go ahead and take that to heart, that you could be targeted in a way, depending on what you're doing, where you live, and how you live. And it may also depend on your political affiliation and all sorts of things regarding your identity. So guard your identity. Make sure you bring water, some Gatorade, maybe a gas mask, because I've been seeing tear gas used. That's been a staple in authorities to break up protests. Also, leave your cell phone somewhere. Don't be trying to take your cell phone with you everywhere and you're getting tracked. Also, they've been using paint. What they'll do is they'll spray a type of paint into a crowd, and the paint has a signature. So then when you look at it with a light, it shines a certain way that only that paint can shine. So it'll tell that you were at the protest or protesting. And don't forget about AI. You think AI is a trip when you look at OpenAI and DeepSeek. Imagine what kind of AI they got with facial recognition. So keep yourself safe during these protests.
Mac Beats, you gave a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of information regarding that. We need to chop up that game a little bit. Family, that is a lot of great information Mac Beats gave. You're planning on going to any of these protests. But I'm here to tell you, family, stay at home. Don't go. And I know I'm going to see some of our family members from the Southern Soul community. I'm going to look on TV and I'm going to see some people from the Southern Soul community on television. They're not heeding our warnings, at least my warning. I'm speaking from experience. I've been around a long time. Family, stay home. It is not our battle. It is not our war. It is a war, a power war to get your vote. It's a power war to compete so that they can ultimately control your destiny instead of you controlling your own destiny, family, by sticking together and buying with one another. Buy with one another, stick together. Don't go for the okie doke. Don't be bamboozled. Don't be hoodwinked. It is not your battle. Cortez and the other guy that ran for president, Bernie. Come on, man. You think we're going to get out here and fight for you and you've ignored us and you ignored our agenda? Just remember, family, groups don't have friends. We are a group. Groups have agenda, Mac Beats.
They do. And one thing I will say about some of the presidential candidates, I do remember when Sanders, Senator Sanders, when he was campaigning for the end of privatized prisons and prison for a profit in the United States. I think that's a big step as far as our agenda goes, because there's an incentive for, and many judges have been arrested for receiving kickbacks from the prison system for locking up black men and children. So I think that's a significant step. I don't think he has the whole yardstick for us quite, but I do think that's a significant step.
I want to give a shout out to all the people in the melanated community. This is Melanated Media Month. This is Black Media Month. I like to say melanated over black, but congratulations and a shout out to Black Media Month, because without the black media like us, the Southern Soul community, this thing wouldn't kick off without you. And so we're addressing you and your considerations and your concerns. Shout out to Black Media Month, Melanated Media Month, Mac Beats.
Absolutely. And we need more media outlets, and we need to support these media outlets. I know a lot of y'all don't read, but even if you don't read...
Hold on, wait a minute. A lot of us don't read.
A lot of us don't read.
Everybody, man.
If it ain't on a flash screen... Man, if it's not flashing on the screen, if it ain't pretty colors, we ain't concerned. We ain't holding no sticks on the game controller. The hell with it. But even if you don't read, I want you to pick a random black newspaper and subscribe for the year. Give it to somebody who do read.
Correct. And the forums. We have a lot of melanated forums, especially in Georgia where we are, where you can support and buy food. You're going to need to start buying food because the cousins, our European cousins, are going to want to fight. They're going to want to fight each other and hurt each other and kill each other. And then it's going to come back and right here and bite us possibly in our communities because of what's to come in the forthcoming months because of their little arguments. And you know, this thing on segregation, I like to say a little bit about this on segregation. Do we still have segregation? It was signed into law July 2nd, 1964, but it's much more tricky now. It was outlawed, right? But it's not. It has not gone away. Is segregation good or bad? It can be good and it could be bad. The bad thing that it happens, it removes us from the tax base. Okay, all right. Now you think, okay, we get the same taxes, we're paying taxes, we get the same amount of attention that other areas get. No, that's not true. They remove our tax base and money that they spend to allocate certain things for the community, like infrastructure and things of that nature. Well, if you don't believe me, drive to any major city in America right now and exit one of the exits in the major city. Get out and ask somebody, hey, do you know where the hood is? And they're going to look at you and they're going to go, over here. Or they're going to go, over there. That is segregation with receipts. The hood is segregation. Take the money out of the community via the tax base, and then the community deteriorates because of lack of tax base. And you go into other areas of the same city where you have our cousins, our European cousins, and everything just looks like this is where I'd like to move. If I came there, I want to move here. Well, that's because they have infrastructure and they haven't stolen the tax base from the community. Segregation creates lower incomes, higher insurance rates. It prevents true education attainment. You know, we've been going through this indoctrination, Mac Beats. its indoctrination and education since the 1900s and the Industrial Revolution. And so they wanted worker bees. They didn't want thinker bees. They wanted worker bees. They wanted people who could work in assembly lines. So now this perspective has become outdated in the melanated communities. And so you have to think it through. We want separate but equal, but we don't want you removing our tax base from our communities, Mac Beats.
One of the things that everybody forgot about segregation was that it didn't segregate the white citizenry, so-called white citizenry, from the black citizenry. It only segregated the black citizenry from the white citizenry. So we should remember that it's not going to stop white people from coming into your space. Segregation has never segregated white people from anything. They've never had to stay out of your area. My grandfather told me a story about a lot of things where when white people or groups came into black spaces, they generally came drunk, armed, and in some pickup trucks. And whatever they were trying to get to, a lot of black people got out of the way just so they can maintain their safety and get to see and live for another day. And this was in black spaces that they would come in on pickup trucks, armed and drunk. So I want you to remember that segregation doesn't stop anybody from coming into your spaces. That's up to black people. Black people have to stop whoever they don't want in their spaces from being there. And one thing that you like to forget, you emotional black people, is that the spaces that you grow and create require money. There are no protected spaces for black folk, so-called black folk, without black folk supporting it and bringing money into it. And there is no black media without you putting into it. You always talk about how the news lying and how the TV's lying and, oh, I don't watch that. No, get your behind and order a black media newspaper. Even if you don't know how to read it yet, have somebody read it to you. Because, and all brevity aside, literacy is falling and it has been falling for the last 10 years. So get that black media together. And if you want the truth and you want to stop looking crazy about what somebody else wants you to think, and you saying, oh, white supremacy media, somebody else owns all of the media, that's not altogether true. It's black media all around you. You just don't subscribe to it. You don't want to pay for it because you're lazy. That's all. And if you're getting something out of this, other than the verbal tongue lashing from yours truly, lash that like button. If you think I'm wrong or want to call me a name, do it in the comments, or say it to my face if you want.
We have the master advocate forthcoming as promised. And so Mac Beats is right. But one thing I want you to remember, family, I know some of y'all read. I know you read. Even though Mac is saying you don't read, you got to read. Many of us are waking up to the event of things going above us in our community, and we have to read these days. So I want to take a little time to talk about the master advocate that the Southern Soul community has embraced. His name is Caleb Holt, and you can really learn a lot about advocacy through Caleb Holt in your agreements and your contracts, entertainment contracts first of all, with promoters, entertainment contracts, with record companies, entertainment contracts, with other entertainers. We will delve into entertainment contracts, and we will help you start managing your career through these entertainment contracts. He's got a course that I really want to talk about called Claim Your Tax Credit, and it's coming up on April 11th. And that will be a course where you can save a lot of money and get a hefty return with some of his principles and tactics and strategies. He has a master securitization course, and also a course that I took I took a couple of his courses. One was the debt course that he had, and this one here, the Ultimate Discharge Guide. Caleb Holt is hot and on fire. You can find him on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So I'm gonna put it on the screen there. And Mac Beats, come on and take us home, man.
It's on the screen. And just so you know, if you're getting everything you're supposed to get out of this video, including the tongue lashing from yours truly, lash that like button. If you think I'm wrong, say it in the comments or say it to my face. But in the meantime, we out!
See y'all on the radio, Southern Soul, ATLFM.com.